Tyler Freed. We're on Clay 1180 a.m. And like I said, a good friend of mine, high school buddy from Kentwood High School, Brian Murphy. He's a television producer, and he's 32 years old right now and lives in Santa Monica. But his family's still up in the area, and he's a diehard Seahawks fan. He actually just got back from the Super Bowl, so I'm excited to hear how that went for him. He attended college at USC, and he's worked on some really, really cool stuff. So I'm excited to hear about it. So we've got Brian here. Let me patch him through. Hey, Brian, are you there?
Hey, Tyler, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. How are things going?
Good. Down here in sunny Southern California.
It's beating this rain in Tacoma we're seeing right now, that's for sure.
Nice. Very nice.
So you went to the Super Bowl, huh?
Oh, my God. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, once in a lifetime chance. My brother Colin and I got to go. We had a good friend of ours, Molly, who was able to get us some tickets, so we all went up there. It was incredible. And, I mean, it was, the 12th man represented. Like, we really, were just all out. And, after the game, went downtown, and the Seahawks really took over New York. It was amazing.
Ah, that's what I love to hear. What a fun event. Holy moly.
It was so cool. It was, I'll never forget it. I mean, and we had great seats. It was a good time for sure.
How loud was it in there? Was there a lot of Hawks fans screaming?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was crazy. It was like being at a home game. I mean, we definitely, I don't think we outnumbered them, but we definitely out-cheered them, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've heard from a few people they got a little silent quick, right?
Yeah. It was like Peyton Manning had no idea what to do. It was pretty, I mean, evidenced by that first play when they snapped it in for safety in their end zone. So.
Oh, gosh, what a fun day. And congrats to you to be able to do it to the fullest. I love it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Like I said, once in a lifetime opportunity.
Hey, Brian. So you ended up going to USC after you left Kentwood?
I did. It was, it was. I knew I wanted to eventually be in California, and SC just really felt like the right place. It was a great decision. I mean, I learned a lot there. I got to work in the TV program. Got to get a degree in English and communications, and that really set me up for like a really good start in the industry, where I'm at now. So it was awesome.
You've accomplished a lot of stuff at a young age. I mean, it's pretty cool to see all the stuff you've put your hands through. And can you tell us a little bit about working with Jay Leno on The Tonight Show?
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, that was literally my first job after college.
Wow.
I got into the NBC Page program, which is sort of like this old program. It's kind of like Kenneth from the show 30 Rock. I was sort of the Kenneth of The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, although I'm obviously a very different personality than Kenneth, and not nearly as involved as Kenneth. But it was great. I mean, it was an amazing first job. I got to be backstage when all the guests came on, it was great. It was great to be part of a talk show, and I think at that point, I actually thought I might want to get into sort of talk shows and stuff like that. I like dealing with real people and all that sort of thing. But it was just a fun first job, and I got to meet a lot of celebrities, which was kind of fun, and it was a good time for sure.
That's got to be the greatest first job I've ever heard of. I love it.
I have some good stories from The Tonight Show, that's for sure.
Okay, we'll have to hear those ones off air. Hey, and you spent a ton of time with Extreme Makeover, right?
I did, yeah. That was an awesome opportunity. I had a great mentor who actually he created that show, and then I was able to get on there and travel the country really for over a year. As like a story producer. Basically every week, we'd be in a different location, and it really, I mean, honestly, those houses got built in a week, and it was pretty incredible to see it go down. And I would be there with the crew, and we had a massive crew of both the construction side and the production side, and it was really, I mean, amazing and very life-changing to be a part of it. Every week it was sort of like you're changing somebody's life, and just to be able to like sort of work in entertainment and to sort of feel like you're making a little bit of a difference. It was really a really special experience, and even now, like years later, I'm still friends with a lot of those people, and it's a really niche community of people, a really good group of people that worked on that show. So it was awesome.
Those homes were getting built in a week. That is just crazy. It was just chaos.
I know. It was. I mean, it really, it was, chaotic. I mean, yes, it was very chaotic, but it was also just sort of incredible to see. I mean, it was just mass coordination, to get it done. And, we did obviously deal with weather and it would rain sometimes and set back things, but just seeing that get done in a weird way, it was like, okay, if this can happen, then anything can happen, and so I think it was really awesome just to see that in that way, just to see all of those people come together. And like I said, it was for a good cause, give a deserving family a home. And, it was just, amazing for sure.
Was it tough to leave that program?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was on some levels. I think, the truth is, it's also in my industry, it's very, exhausting sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think, it was really a really good, opportunity while it lasted. And I think, I just sort of, from there, that was a good point to sort of move on and sort of do some more stuff and sort of advance my career and really take on some new challenges and so forth. And, I was out in the field, so to speak, producing on that show, and I wanted to sort of be more in Los Angeles and, do some creative stuff on the post-production side, which is sort of more what I do now, day to day. So it was a good stepping stone for sure, and just a great opportunity.
So tell us a little bit about Catfish, the TV show that you're working on right now on MTV. I know just a little bit about it. I think I caught one of the specials that they had. I don't know if that was real or what, but that just blew my mind.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome show. I mean, I'm very invested in it. We've done 2 seasons of it.
Nice.
And I'm the supervising producer in post-production. So, it's basically, I mean, in my opinion, it's the most real reality show out there. You really have people that have been in these online relationships with people they've never met in person. Sometimes, I mean, our longest one was 10 years that they've been talking, but never met for whatever reason. And I think, it's so fascinating. And, we've had a couple that have actually been the real people and it's worked out. Most of the time it's not. And, I think just as a TV show, it's got this amazing quality of, you want to know who this person is, and there's so much invested in it. And even if it's not the person, then it becomes like, well, what are the motivations behind it? And, the cool thing about the show is we also try to make it redeeming. Even if someone's been lying about who they are, we really try to understand, why have you been lying, and try to kind of gain some kind of understanding. Because, it happens a lot. I mean, Manti Te'o, the football player at Notre Dame,
yeah.
It's similar than what happened to him. People make fake profiles all the time now, and, it's like entertainment for them sometimes. It's a way of, getting more self-esteem, whatever it is. It happens every day.
Hey, Brian, so these people that are faking these personalities, how do you get them to say, yeah, come on the show?
I mean, I think, a lot of it just is, our host, Neve, he went through this himself. There's a documentary called Catfish, which the show is based on.
Okay.
And, so he's been there. And so he's really good at sort of, on the show, really, calling these people and saying, look, we sort of know what's going on. Sometimes, he's very good at sort of, convincing the people to come on and really tell their story. And I think a lot of times these people that have been sort of faking it for a while or whatever are actually ready to come clean. They had genuine feelings for the other person and they just needed a reason to finally come out.
Okay.
Or they just are done, with living this lie. And so it's like the show gives them an opportunity, I think, to really do it in a positive way, in a kind of a unique way. So,
can you give one example that just sticks out the most, that it just blew your mind, how obvious it was, or?
You mean how crazy the story was, or what?
Yeah, I want to hear. Give us a good one.
Oh man, there was a girl who basically, was posing as she had convinced her best friend that she was that she had a fake profile, that she was a Playboy playmate, this whole, whatever. And her best friend Joe was in love with this profile. But she had been, pretending to be this Playboy playmate with her best friend Joe for a year. And Joe thought he was going to go off to L.A. He lived in upstate New York or whatever. And he thought he was going to come to L.A. and be this sort of, this boyfriend of this celebrity. And it turned out, it was just Rose, this girl who, wanted this celebrity and just loved sort of manipulating this friend, like, this sort of, wanted the attention and didn't see anything wrong with, toying with her best friend like that. So,
Oh my
you know,
goodness.
you get a lot. I mean, it runs the gamut, really, for sure. And then, sometimes it's just people that, we had this guy who was, obese, and he was very embarrassed about how he looked, and he didn't, he had old pictures of himself online, but he was a genuine guy who just wanted this girl to like him. So he had these pictures of a better looking guy and a younger guy. And, when he came clean, he just wanted this girl to accept him for who he was. And after the show, he's actually lost weight and so forth. So I think, and in a lot of ways, the show, can be a sort of a positive experience for people that, that take it that way, an opportunity to change at least. So.
Yeah, probably a lot healthier for them once they come clean and really realize that kind of what they were doing, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think, it's funny that it happens on television, but, so be it. It's like,
yeah, people love that stuff, right?
Yeah, and I think, it's funny, in reality TV, and I've been lucky because I've gotten to work on some really good reality shows. Like, there is a lot of truth in reality TV. I mean, there's a lot of things that aren't like 100% real, but like the shows I've been able to work on, like there's been a lot of truth, and I think that's sort of what's fascinating for me, and that's what keeps me sort of like invested in enjoying what I do, because I get to hear these real stories, and we get to talk to real people, and that keeps me going, and it's it's interesting to see these different situations that people find themselves in. So.
It's just fascinating. Brian, we've got a little more time left. Can you tell us about the new Lifetime show Bring It that you just finished up on?
Yeah. I was actually I went on the road. And we finished it up sort of end of December here, and it was basically about a dance troupe in Jackson, Mississippi. Which if you've ever been in the South, like Jackson is the deep South. And it was cool. It's cool to be down there for a while. But it's sort of like a very intense dance troupe with some very passionate moms and a passionate coach. And every week they would go and compete against other dance troupes. And it was like real, like Bring It On style. Like, these are sort of dance battles and so forth. So it just premiered on Lifetime last week. And, it'll be airing, I think, Wednesday nights here, coming up. But it's a fun show. And, it's one of those shows I think, people will sort of love, to cheer for the kids, and they'll sort of love to watch the drama that the moms and the coach provide as well. But it was a fun time for sure, and I think it's a good show, like I said.
Yeah, and I'm sure you just get to travel all over the place with these different shows, don't you?
I do, yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to be in LA more as much as I can. And, I really like living in LA and Santa Monica and all that. But yeah, I definitely get to go on the road. I've been to pretty much every state, with the exception of a few, and so that's been a really awesome opportunity as well, for along with my career. So.
Brian, you're doing things right. You're making Kent proud, and it's just fun to follow you and just hear all these great things you got going on. I really appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. Thanks for having me, man. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you, too. Hopefully I'll see you soon, and take care and good luck with everything.
All right. Thank you, Tyler.
All right. Take care, Brian.
All right. Later, man.
Later. Wow. Holy moly. What a fun job to have there. So that wraps up our show here. You're listening to Clay 1180 AM. I'm Tyler Freed with Community Real Estate Talk Show. We'll be back next Saturday